Hey everyone. Today I'm just going to talk about chapter 6 of the leadership textbook. And this is about leadership and influence. And I really like this chapter because I'm actually currently this semester taking a class in communication and persuasion. So it has a lot to do with like influencing other people in ways to for them to be on the same page with you, or to push your narrative, or just can be good and bad. But for this one, it's all about leadership. So right away they wanted to find out what allows for a leader to successfully influence people. So they said right away it's credibility, and I agree with this because if you're not credible in the eyes of whoever you're trying to lead or whoever you're trying to meet with, then you'll never be able to influence them to be working for you or to be following you. You'll never even have the power to be a leader if you're not seen credible in the eyes of your employees, or whatever it is. So they then discussed how to build credibility, and they did it in three ways. So I'm just gonna go over that first. The first way is presentation behavior. So it's just the way that you present yourself, and this can be in daily life or it can be in situational. The way that you handle yourself in certain situations, behaviors, nonverbals, verbals. They go into that more, but yeah, just like the way that you want to be seen to other people, and that can be both physical appearance, like the way you dress, but also how you're acting. Are you acting appropriately to a situation, or are you acting, childish? But all right, so then the next one is, the first one was presentation behavior. The next one is language, and language is all about just using the right language in the situation, which has to be, appropriate to the situation. They stated to avoid jargon based language, which is basically like bigger words that most people, like a common person, wouldn't understand on a topic. So that'll seem like you don't really know what you're talking about, and it will lose credibility. So use direct language when trying to gain some credibility. And the last one is physical appearance and nonverbal behaviors. So, like we talked about before, where certain situations call for what you want to present yourself like. Like, for example, an interview, you want to dress to impress. You want to dress like this is, the one time in the world that they're going to see you. And if, especially, if it's like an office or a company, you're going to want to dress to fit their values and their style. So, stuff like that. And then nonverbal behaviors is the way that you would interact with them, specifically for an interview. Like, if you were just, dozing off and not interested in just, you may be saying the right things, but you're not like showing that, you're not nodding your head, you're not saying that, you're listening to them and you don't care to be there, then they're not going to see you as credible, and you're not ever going to get the chance to impress them or influence them. So just act accordingly. And then the last thing I want to talk about is just the chapter. Talked a lot about like having the power of influencing, and once you're a leader, what you can do with it. And some of it was like argumentative, but then a lot of the times was just negotiating. So with negotiating, it's, as a leader specifically, it's not about fighting. It's about reaching common ground, like a win-win, and it's not an argument with especially like an employee, or even a rival company or something like that. So you want to take like the credibility that you have and be able to influence them to fit your narrative and your agenda to reach a compromise. And it's not about using any negative language in those circumstances. You're going to want to try to make it as friendly as possible and just create a win-win compromise that benefits both you and influences both of you. So that's pretty much some of my favorite parts of the chapter.